Hello, welcome to Invictus Motors. We've got this Porsche 981 Boxster GTS, and this isn't just sort of your usual run-of-the-mill 981 GTS. This is actually probably by far the high-spec 981 Boxster GTS, or even a 981 Cayman GTS we've ever had in spec. But before we can get into sort of the nitty-gritty details of buying or not to buy, please don't forget to subscribe. We do earn out of YouTube. That money we donate to charity. So, you know, we really appreciate the views. And now back onto this 981 GTS. What is it really that makes these absolutely phenomenal of a Porsche? If you really are not in a need of a 2+2 layout, the Boxster or the Cayman really is the perfect car for you. And the reason I say that is because it's got a boot at the front, which can take all your luggage space, which can take a lot of luggage, and you also have a boot at the back. And these two places allows you to keep and store a lot more stuff in the car than, let's just say, a Porsche 911. And if I was to now invite you into this cabin space here, right in the middle, most of us would tend to drive these kind of cars in the summer. And some of us might actually drive them in the winter. This has the advantage over a 911 both in the summer and in the winter. Because in the summer with the roof down, you don't actually get a lot of draft, because this is a very intimate, compact cabin space. And basically, as soon as you get into the car, that's really all the cabin space. And you've got your back up against the engine right there, and you've got a beautiful driving position. And if you want to daily drive something like this practically every day in the winter, and this is one of those cars that's literally been daily driven, I think in the first 3 years it's done something around the line of 35,000 miles. These can be daily driven despite them not being four-wheel drive, but they can be daily driven in the winter as well, especially in this rainy, so almost flood-like conditions that we're in right now because of the excessive amount of rain that we get, because these are mid-engine cars. The engine is basically based here. And what that allows you to do is just a phenomenal ability to handle one of these. You barely ever lose the back end. And with the 911s to begin with, they're designed by having the engine behind the rear axle. So they've taken, from 1963 to the present day to accommodate, to almost engineer them in such a way that the engine behind the rear axle works as you would expect it on a sports car. But that inherent thing isn't really a concerning, or I would say an issue on the Cayman or the Boxsters. The Caymans have actually a monocoque chassis, so they're very compact overall. And the Boxsters, being sort of a lifestyle sort of a car, has got this soft roof, which at a press of a button with your remote control, you can actually open and close it. And let me illustrate. So literally with the open button, you can open the roof, and with a close button, you can literally close the roof. And it's a very seamless transition of it, basically opening and closing. And you could actually do this even if you're traveling at about sort of 30 miles per hour, perhaps a little bit more. But I normally recommend it being done when you park stationary. And then with the open button, you can open it all up as well. Now, whilst this is happening, I'd like to move on to the next bit of this video. This is finished in quite an exotic color, which is Guards Red. The Porsche 911s, as a matter of fact, from the 70s and 80s, 70 to, I would say about 75% of them were all in sort of colors like the Guards Red, or sort of like the really light blue colors. So firstly, this Guards Red just looks absolutely stunning. This has got the adaptive PDLS headlights from Porsche with the adaptive cruise control box that you see there at the bottom, and then bringing you into the 20-inch sort of sport design heritage alloys with the Porsche ceramic brakes. And you come all the way to the back of the vehicle, and this has got all the right bits of kit that you'd expect on a 981 Cayman or a Boxster GTS. So you've got the sports exhaust, you've got that more aggressive diffuser there at the back. Spec-wise, as soon as sort of you open your doors, you've got this carbon that you find on the doors, on both doors. So it's got a full-on carbon package with a contrast stitching, extended leather interior. So that goes all the way up to the end of the dash. You find contrast stitching there. Also, even a bit of the red here on the seat belts. The fact you've got the Alcantara and leather GTS interior, the sort of 18-way memory electric Sport Seats Plus. This is as comprehensive as it can get in terms of a specification. And this has obviously got that 7-speed phenomenal PDK transmission, the carbon package. You've also got it around that center console. And you've got keyless entry, exit, keyless start, the Sport Plus with the chrono watch there, the sports exhaust, heated seats, the sport steering wheels with pedal shifts, finished in Alcantara. But I think it's time finally that we take one of these bad boys out for a drive. So we've got Jeremy here inside the car with us. He's coming to basically look at this Porsche 981 Boxster, but I'm in the middle of reviewing it. So take it out with Jeremy in the car. In terms of the engine, this has a 3.4 litre naturally aspirated Boxster 6 engine, and that produces 325 brake horsepower, 370 Newton meters of torque. The 0 to 62 miles per hour is possible in 3.9 seconds, and the top speed is 173 miles per hour. What really sort of attracts people to this generation of the Porsches is the fact that they are naturally aspirated, 3.4 litre, as I mentioned. The generation after this comes either in the 2 litre twin turbocharged or the 2.5 litre turbocharged. And you probably want to hear what it sounds like, so I will actually put it in sport mode. So even at this low speed of about 30 miles per hour, it still sounds, I'd say, a bit gruntier. But as soon as you open it up, handling wise, as I mentioned right at the beginning of the video, these are mid-engine cars, and they just hold to the road like glue, even when the conditions are this wet. If you've got any questions, just ring us. Thank you for watching. Shall we swap over?